These last few weeks, I've noticed something new in me. And it is that sometimes I don't even notice I'm overwhelmed at first. Because it's not like always something like really dramatic that happens where you're like, ah! No, it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't appear like that when you're feeling overwhelmed. It's just like suddenly you feel like everything feels heavier, and just like little things or just simple things feel annoying. You're like, I can't deal with this right now, or I don't want to do this, and you're like more agitated, more angry, and your brain just feels like a mess, like noisy. And I found myself these last few weeks sort of like that, and just in bed I open my phone, I close it, open, close, open, close, and somehow I'm feeling really tired, even though I haven't really done anything to feel tired. I've just been like scrolling on my phone and just doing nothing basically. And for the longest time I thought that being overwhelmed to be like something seriously wrong, something is going terribly wrong. But honestly, I just feel that it's actually a very normal human state of being. And sometimes we just fall into it for a variety of circumstances that can happen in life. It's a feeling that you might get in your life. So I wanted to share a few things that genuinely helps me when my brain over here feels like it has like 1000 tabs open and at least like 5 of them or 10 are frozen, and like everything is a mess right now. And I just wanted to share a few little tips. Of course, this is not any expert advice. I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing things that maybe might help you get a reset, because they helped me to get to that reset. So I'm just going to share it with you guys in case it helps you. One thing I've realized, the moment I feel overwhelmed, the first thing I do is actually the opposite of what helps. And what do I mean by that? Is that I try to solve everything, fix everything at the moment, think through everything, plan everything. And what does that usually do? That usually makes it even worse and adds another reason to feel overwhelmed. So I think the first step that I took when I started noticing how I was doing things when I was feeling overwhelmed, the first step I took is to make things ridiculously simple. I just made things smaller, like aggressively smaller. For example, my brain lately has been telling me, you need to sort your whole life out right now. Like, we need a plan. I need you to tell me the plan. I'm getting anxious here. What is your future going to be like? What is happening? Blah, 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 blah. I'll just tell myself, okay, what's the next step? What is the next small thing I can do? Not the plan for next week, not the life decisions. Like, no, I'm stopping that. I'm not going to make those decisions. I'm not going to be planning those things. Or maybe you feel overwhelmed also with work, like you have to answer so many things, so many emails that you have to respond that you haven't been doing. Stop. Drink some water. And just take it small. For example, if it's about the emails, reply to just one or whatever you can. Or just stand up, open the window, just take a breather. Take a breather, because that is not going to help. Planning in advance and taking control of everything is not going to help. It's just going to make it worse. And it might sound stupid, but these tiny actions break that like frozen feeling when you're like really anxious and overwhelmed, like I have so many things to do, where do I start? Start small, inhale, exhale, and just take it easy. Another thing that really helped me is something that you could name it like the null pressure button. This is just basically like a human reset. Sometimes this could just mean, for example, sitting on the floor rather than on the chair, making a tea and not looking at my phone while I make the tea and have it. Or literally like just lying on your bed for 10 minutes doing nothing. And I used to think, especially when you're feeling like that was like the most waste of time you could do. Like, there's things to do. What do you mean? lie on your bed for 10 minutes. There's no way I'm doing that. But that is not a waste of time. It's maintenance. You're just resetting for a moment. You need that moment, that pause. Because if you don't give yourself like those tiny pauses, your brain will eventually force a really big one on you. Something that I find that also helps me, and I'm still learning this, is writing things down before my brain gets the chance to turn them like into this emotional chaos. So before everything happens up here, I'll just start writing them on paper. Because maybe in your head, like everything feels urgent. You have to do that in like right now. It has to be done at that moment. But the moment you put it like on paper, you write it down. You can be like, oh, okay, this looks like 3 separate problems, for example. And one of them isn't even for today, so I'm not even going to worry about that right now. And half of the time I won't even solve anything. This cat. I just like get it out of my head so it stops echoing in there. It's a good way to place what's in here on a paper and just get it out of your head. Even if you don't solve it. And honestly, one of the biggest ones for me is lowering the emotional drama I attach to that feeling. Because when I start feeling overwhelmed, my brain just loves to add a story to it. It's not like just, oh no, I'm tired. It becomes like, oh, I'm tired, but I'm behind in everything. Someone else is doing better than me. I should be doing more. Why am I like this? I need to fix my life. I need to stop doing this. I need to stop being lazy, and I need to start working immediately. And suddenly, like just a day where you just feel tired turns into an existential crisis. And this is so me, because it's like, stop being so dramatic. What do you mean? You're just tired, but your head loves to take it to the next level, you know? So sometimes I just literally interrupt my thoughts and go, hey, stop it. Maybe nothing is wrong. It's not the end of the world. I will survive. And maybe today is just a heavy brain day. So take it easy. Jessica, take it easy. Don't listen to what's happening here. It's just one of those bad days. It will pass. Another thing that also helps, and it might be weird, is doing something like slightly boring but physical. Tiny things like washing dishes, folding clothes, going to the grocery store to buy bread, or just watering your plants, you know, that moment if your brain is spinning, with your body doing just something simple. It feels weirdly grounding and it gives your thoughts somewhere to land. And then there's one that I don't know why I always resist, but always helps. And it is talking to someone. Not for solution, not for advice. Just for a normal conversation, getting things off your chest. And sometimes you don't even have to talk about your problem at all, but it just helps to get your mind on something else. It reminds your brain that the world is a normal place and I'm still in that world. And I think the biggest thing I've learned about feeling overwhelmed is it usually doesn't solve itself by thinking harder, and it doesn't. It gets worse. I think it gets solved by making life slightly softer for a moment. As I said, drinking something warm, a cup of tea, going for a walk, stepping outside, or just doing one small task. And just letting today be imperfect. It's not the end of the world. And just tell yourself that. And just remember that feeling overwhelmed isn't always a sign that you need a new system or a new plan or a new version of yourself. Sometimes it's literally just a sign that you're a human who has been carrying a lot lately. And that doesn't mean you're failing. Of course, that's not the issue here. You're not failing. It means you need a pause, a moment. So if today feels like one of those heavy brain days, you don't need to fix everything. Remember that. You don't need to fix everything. You just need one small step, one soft thought, one tiny reset. And that's enough to start. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any doubts, any tips, anything you would like to share, please comment, like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye.